What is up, YouTube? What's good in the neighborhood? Check this out, man. Music Recording Network stream. This going on the stream channel. This is the Music Recording Network stream channel. Check this out, without a doubt, baby. When rappers get killed over interviews. How y'all doing today, man? Don't forget we running, man, we got 5 channels. Right now we pushing 4 of them. And this is one of them. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Hey, man, let's check this bad boy out.
It's the real disrespectful. I'm going who you is. I will disrespect you.
Topic in the street. You, Big Flock, the video, controversy behind the video.
Man, no Big Flock, man. He's a big no Big Flock.
Sources ID him as Abdul Vix, a rapper known as YBC Duel, affiliated with the West Philadelphia Young Bag Chasers.
One rapper dissed his op so bad, he got less than a day after the interview. And another dropped the diss on G-Herbo so crazy, he got gunned down by his crew just a few months later. These are times rappers got killed over interviews. And we gotta start off with YBC Duel, because one interview he did was so disrespectful, it got him killed less than a day after it dropped. Duel was known for his extreme antics and dissing dead ops on songs. And some of the disses were so disrespectful, he even earned the name Mr. Disrespectful from his fans. Because he even went as far as digging up one of his ops' grave back in February 2024.
Tombstone, dirt up. Hey, yo, where the at, yo? Carney, where the right?
And that wasn't all, because in May, he was on an episode of No Jumper, and he completely went off on all of his ops.
All ops, BCK, LMG, 56th Street, Belmont, y'all never got back. No, 44 CB taming y'all. Look, 38th Street, 38th Street, I ain't even going live. The Dub too, and who else? I ain't gonna lie, it's many more. Collar Hill, Parkside, Bud, Blue for Bud. All them. Is the real disrespectful. I'm going who you is. I will disrespect you.
Because just the day before, Brandon Buckingham had posted an interview he did with YBC Duel, in which Duel talked on his beef with his ops and about how he and his crew were really getting the ops smoked. He even mentioned how almost no one in their hood, including his ops, were ever outside. Because according to Duel, he and his gang were terrorizing the block up.
It took Drake and he got gun butted with it. Real, go listen to it. Every mom, dad, sisters, brothers, ops, we proving a point. No, it ain't no block you could go on down here and people outside. We blocks up. Never got robbed. I never got touched, shot at in the city.
We outside right now with the most disrespectful rapper in America.
And we on feet on land.
Block, feet on land.
They in the comments on No Jumper till my man don't be outside. My man outside every day, all day.
I pulled up at 2 p.m. It's almost midnight.
And it almost sounded like he was bragging about it at one point, but his ops would eventually get the drop on him. And on August 23rd, 2024, the car pulled up on him while he was at a stoplight in Philly and let off 5 shots, hitting him in his hand and chest before speeding off down the street.
We are learning new details about the investigation into the murder of a person police say is a well-known gang member. The sound coming from this surveillance video, according to Philadelphia police, the deadly claimed the life of Abdul Vix, also known as Young Duel.
His friend tried rushing him to the hospital, but unfortunately, he ended up passing away. And he probably should have eased up with all the dissing, since that's how many of his homies also went out. But if you thought that was crazy, one rapper lost his life for saying too much in his interview, and another died for speaking on his op. But first, let's talk about Tan the God, because her situation is even crazier than what happened to YBC Duel, and she made headlines back in 2023 for allegedly killing her ex and making a whole project about it. Because
Man, these people want fame. I don't understand what type of fame they actually want, though. Man, I don't want to be associated with any of that stuff. I don't want to get on no video and start talking negative about anybody. You see what's happening? These people ain't playing.
Tan was an up-and-coming rapper from Oakland, and she'd been in the rap scene for a long time. But in 2023, she went viral for dropping a project called Ex-Woodpack. Nobody knows what really went down, but Tan the God made it sound like she killed her ex-boyfriend and was smoking on him. Tan even went on Kid L's podcast to speak on the situation, and she didn't really say that she killed her ex. But Tan the God told Kid L,
threatening family and you know, and you know where people live. And I think about it, I'm like, you know where my loved ones live? you gotta go. you got to go. Especially if you got the audacity to threaten them. What? You threatening my people? Everybody gonna die. Oh, is we?
During the interview, Tan made it sound like her ex had abused her and was sending death threats to her family. And that's why she allegedly took him out. Kidell even asked Tan how she was free since the cops should have done something by now.
Did they like side with you on it? Like how did you evade like any type of like consequence basically?
And Tan the guy told him,
we gonna find that out on September 23rd.
Okay.
And after the Kidell interview dropped, everyone was trying to figure out what it really went down. And some people thought Tan was just talking crazy for clout. But then rumors started going around that she really did kill the dude and that she was even in the witness protection program. And about a month after her Kidell interview, Tan went on off the porch to announce that she'd beat the case and that if things hadn't worked out, she'd have probably done the race like TK. And people still weren't sure if she was clowning or not. But then she brought a tombstone of her ex on the interview to show she was really smoking on him and said,
extra childish, making families mad.
Y'all crazy,
oh well,
man.
they gonna do about it.
Smoking on that Axwood pack.
Oh yeah, you know it. Matter of fact, I got to smoke on this dead mother as we speak. Hold up.
Oh my God, yo. Are you
Hold
serious?
on, let me get my love.
But things eventually go left for Tan the God, because in July 2024, she was doing a meet and greet and performing for the grand opening of a beauty supply shop in Oakland, when out of nowhere, a dude ran up on her and shot her in front of everybody in broad daylight. According to reports, a dude in a hoodie walked in behind her after she was done chopping it up with her fans and allegedly got into some kind of argument with her. And that's when he upped the strap and started letting off shots. After the shots rang out, fans reported hearing Tan the God screaming, "I'm hit," and the paramedics soon rolled up to the scene to rush Tan to the hospital. But she was tragically pronounced dead just a couple hours later. And after the news broke, a lot of different stories started flying around about what really went down. At first, nobody knew why Tan the God got hit, but fans started connecting the dots to her interviews and the project she dropped back in 2023. And it's really tragic since Tan the God was finally starting to get some motion in the rap game. And sometimes it's best not to even speak on things you did in interviews to gain clout, because that's part of the reason rapper G Money lost his life. Because NBA Youngboy and G Money were close friends at one point. But then G Money pulled this move in a 2017 interview with Say Cheese, because he says
he mad about his sister too though.
About his sister?
Yeah, I had a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's mad about that. He wasn't really tripping on it back then, though, you know what I'm saying? He be calling me big brother.
And after this interview, G Money then went on to drop a diss on Youngboy named Industry. And in the song, he gets disrespectful, saying, "Your sister swallowed, so I never kissed her, but I with her, so I never dissed her." G Money was rising in fame after all of this, but he wasn't moving too smart and kept sending disses at NBA Youngboy and his homies, saying how he was still recording at the same studio and driving the same cars. And the beef ended up getting so serious that it led to gun violence. G Money was in the studio one night finishing up another recording session until shortly after leaving around 1 a.m. he was shot by an unknown person who was waiting for him at the door. And Youngboy spoke on the situation in a song named Poor One, where he rapped, "Matter of fact, I used to call you my big brother. Then you did some foul, and that with my sister." But G Money isn't the only rapper from TBG who died after dissing someone. And it didn't turn out good. The same happened with Boulevard Quick, because in 2018, after Quick got out of prison, he started going hard with the music as well. And in August 2018, he dropped the video for the song Never Lacking. And at the end, he went on a huge rant against Youngboy.
Shot that pull up. Back. Don't chill. You know, TBG Gorilla Gang, long live G Money. I'ma talk my I don't hide behind money, cause I ain't got that much. So I'm in the field. Can't be, it must be counterfeit. You dropped the bag while I'm still breathing.
And Youngboy's mom hopped in and told Boulevard Quick to leave him alone. But Boulevard Quick wasn't hearing that and responded, telling her to mind her business, which really pissed Youngboy off.
Hey man, Mom, tell me about that. That eat a big long.
So just a few weeks later, he was killed. In November 2018, the police found Quick's body in the parking lot of his apartment complex. YB spoke on the situation on Impact, saying, They spoke on my mama. I ain't want to talk. I end up killing her. But now, let's move on to OG Man, because he wasn't a real rapper like YBC Duel and 10 to God, but he went viral in 2016 for dropping a diss with a music video so disrespectful, even DJ Academic straight up called it demonic. OG Man was one of DMV's biggest hitters, and his name was well respected in the streets. But then, he decided to have relations with Big Flock's girl, who was one of his homies at the time. And that's what pissed Big Flock off, because when he found out about it, he dropped a diss on Man called The Intro, calling out OG as a snitch for the feds, where he rapped. A man turned to informant, thought that he was real. He put on a good performance. And Man wasn't too happy with the diss, since his crew really hated snitches. So when he finally got out of jail, he took to the studio to record Truth, one of the most disrespectful disses of all time, in which he rapped, "I know why you mad, cause stop playing with me, talking about I'm snitching. Rest in peace to Lil Chris. Yeah, I know they miss him. Don't trip. His whole squad gonna lay there with him." And that wasn't all, because the music video was actually shot at C. Diddy's grave, one of Big Flock's closest homies and most respected gang member that had died. And after the video dropped, Man even linked up with Cutthroat TV for an interview in which he doubled down on his claims, dissing Big Flock and his crew even more.
Big Flock, the video, controversy behind the video.
Man, no Big Flock, man. He's a big no Big Flock. He mad.
Damn, y'all.
He mad, he want my life. He mad, he ain't me. So, you know, I had to go on him like I went on him. It's simple. I don't go about you, your dead man, your mother, your father, your grandmother. I don't give a none of that. But I'm going on.
That's too hard, y'all. You say you don't give a F about your mom, the boy, and his dead homie. His clique is missing the dead homie. Oh my God! What now? Now he gone.
You, your dead man, your mother, your grandfather, all that. Okay, you hear me? Like, you don't disrespect me and think I ain't gonna say nothing to you. I ain't want no. You think you gonna say something to and not say nothing? I ain't gonna say nothing back. Like, I know the real him. That's why the song came about, the truth. It ain't a sneak diss, it's the truth.
But Big Flock didn't take the dissing lightly. And unfortunately, OG Man would end up losing his life over it. Because on June 12th, 2016, Man received a call from someone who wanted him to pull up to Southeast DC for a cookout they were gonna have later that night. But once OG pulled up, a man walked up to him, his blick, letting off multiple shots and ending his life. Many suspected Big Flock as soon as it happened. And the cops later raided Flock's home for evidence, but found nothing more than rounds of ammunition and a few $1,000s worth of narcotics. And since there was no way to prove his involvement in Man's death, he was instead charged with illegal possession of firearms and drugs, which he took a plea deal for and got 45 months in jail. Let's move on to Lil JoJo, because he started to make a name for himself back in 2012 after dropping his song BDK, in which he took shots at the Black Disciples. He was a dude from the south side of Chicago who repped the gang Brick Squad, who was a subground of the Gangster Disciples. And at first, JoJo wasn't a rapper, but after hearing a diss Lil Durk drop on his gang back in 2012 called L's Anthem, he decided to hop in the booth to shoot back. On April 27th, 2012, Lil JoJo dropped a remix of Chief Keef's song Every Day called BDK, aka 300K, which took shots at the whole BDK gang, including Chief Keef, Lil Reese, and Durk. And JoJo didn't stop there, because his BDK track got so much attention that he decided to keep dropping disses to build up his career as a rapper. He followed up with the track Tied Up, in which he took more shots at Keef, and another diss, which was a remix of the Yo Gotti song I Got That Sack, in which he claimed that one of his homies had knocked Lil Reese out, saying, "Catch him in traffic with Lil Reese, man, they gon' feel this Mac. BDK, that's my team and my city got my back. Went to school with these, but they don't mean my tail knocked them out. You should have seen that." And in the outro of the song, they took it a step further by taking shots at David Barksdale, aka King David, the founder of the Black Disciples. And JoJo's homie P. Rico can be heard shouting, and JoJo going dumb on Durk's BDK, die L's on Queen Dave. And many took offense to the diss, because Lil JoJo was also quickly becoming one of the most hated GDs in the city. And he still wasn't done with the dissing, because he downplayed his op on a TP radio interview and told the interviewer that he wasn't done with the 300K disses, since he had some sort of sequel in mind for the project.
What's the actual title to it?
300K, they like that. Ain't no BDK, 300K.
Alright, so you got a part 2 coming out to that, right? Or how you gonna do that? Or what is that?
Part 2 is just a little series of videos.
Oh, okay, this is all gonna tie into one thing though, or how this going?
gonna be like a little movie.
Okay, bet that.
But on September 4th, 2012, Lil JoJo would lose his life in a very tragic way. He was riding with his homie's bike along 69th Street when a car pulled up on him and let off shots, hitting him to the ground, and unfortunately, he'd be pronounced dead at the hospital. And JoJo made a grave mistake because just a few minutes prior, he had dropped his location on Twitter, tagging Lil Reese, basically telling him that he was outside if Reese was really down for the action. Many suspected Lil Reese was the one behind the hit, seeing as they'd been going back and forth for months prior to the shooting. And right after it happened, Chief Keef also went on Twitter to clown JoJo out, saying, "It's sad because JoJo wanted to be just like us." Lil Reese and Chief Keef were both taken into questioning, but no charges were filed since the cops couldn't make a clear connection, and no one was ever arrested for the death of Lil JoJo. But about a year later, Swag Dinero, who was JoJo's older brother, hinted that whoever was responsible for the hit was no longer breathing because he tweeted on Phone Them, "Y'all don't know how this go for real. Hashtag no talking. Even the ops know. The MF who took my bro ain't walking this earth no more." And the whole situation's pretty sad since Lil JoJo was just starting to see some buzz in the city. But now, let's move on to FBG Cash because he died not too long after talking about something disrespectful that he did during an interview. In late 2020, Chicago rapper FBG Cash took a picture in front of King Von's mural to disrespect Von and his people. Not long after taking the picture, he went on No Jumper to discuss it. He told Adam 22 about the conversation he had with Lil Durk before taking the picture.
What kind of conversation were you having before he told you to go take this photo?
Yeah, go over there and do that and see what happened to you. I'm outside right now.
You hit him up?
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Hey, what's up?" Chicago's so weird because the ops always be talking to each other and like going on live and tweeting at each other.
What?
And doing this interview might have made things even worse than it already was. Because Durk later dropped a song where he said, "Sneaking pics by Von Mural, like Lil Bro won't come out and spin." But we sent a threat to FBG Cash for taking that picture. Then, 3 months after the song was released, FBG Cash ended up getting hit and lost his life while driving on the south side of Chicago.
Well-known Chicago area rapper was in a drive-by shooting early this morning in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood. 31-year-old Tristan Hamilton was shot multiple times. According to the Sun-Times, he raps under the name FBG Cash. A 29-year-old woman with him was also shot, taken to the hospital in serious condition.
Now, let's move on to Shooter Shells, because he was a controversial rapper, best known for his affiliation with the Black Mob Gang and his song
crazy,
Death of
man.
150, which racked up over 8 million views on YouTube, in which he called out the whole No Limit 150 crew. No Limit was one of Black Mob's ops, and in Death of 150, Shells completely went off on his ops, including G Herbo, saying, "Lil Herb, Bezo, Vito, Chemo, among many other 150 associates." The reviews were mixed because many people were saying that Shells was just trying to chase clout since he was taking shots at much bigger names in the streets and music industry. But Shells was on an interview with Iman where he cleared everything up, saying that his beef with G Herbo and the 150s has been going on for a very long time and that the beef goes deeper than people think.
You know, like we've been in tour with them guys for a minute, you know, Lil Herb or whatever, them, like all them little 150 guys. You feel me? It ain't specifically Lil Herb, it's just all of them. You feel me? I ain't singling out just him. You feel me? All of them. We in tour with the whole. All of them, you feel me? Like, when he first started rapping or whatever, you feel me, had mentioned my name in the track. This one, I wasn't even really rapping like that. You know, it's rap beef. Once I mention my name, we go at it, you feel me? Because, you know, we really into it. It ain't like this just some odd never heard of. This, you know, we into it. It wasn't even just Lil Herb, though, you feel me? He used to go to a whole nother, like, when I was, like, in 6th grade, I used to go to PAL. You feel me? Then we used to be like, you know, elementary school was close by. Elementary schools used to fight. You feel me? We've been always in tour with them. And as we got older, you feel me? It just escalated. You feel me? So, you know, gang banging, fist fights turned to gunshots. You feel me? Gunplay.
Damn.
And he just so happened to be a part of them. You feel me? So that's how it came about. It don't never be about no money though. It ain't really about no money. You feel me? Just always fighting, bad blood. And then as we got older, high school, and then playing with guns, people started dying.
But he'd end up losing his life in a very crazy way, because back in July 2017, gunshots could be heard in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood of the 8100 block. 3 men had hopped out of a white Nissan and shot Shells multiple times in the head and torso. A total of 43 casings were found at the scene, with at least 15 shots being directly to his face. Now, let's move on to BTB Savage, because some say that doing this interview with DJ Vlad is the main cause of his death, since he spoke on how he killed someone in self-defense in a cocky fashion. According to Savage, a local rapper had been trying to get a feature from him for a while. One night, the dude got in touch with Savage and finally agreed to do a feature.
I think these people don't want to live. I think they want to die. It's like, what makes you think nobody's going to come and sneak you? Cause it ain't like it's like, yo, man, I'm going to come around the corner and I got my guns and we're gonna drive by and sucker punch you. That's a straight up sucker punch. And I'm not calling them suckers, but you got a problem and you talking about my man's dead homies, he gonna handle that. Cause that's all y'all talk about is that street life. Do you understand? Why would you want to live like this? Unless you must don't mind not living, I guess.
Later that night, the other rapper pulled up to his apartment with a car full of dudes. The rapper came into Savage's apartment with another dude named Omar Richardson. Savage said he felt weird since both of them were looking around his spot when they walked in. But then, Omar upped some racks, so Savage thought it was all good. The dudes then came in with a box full of studio equipment so they could get to work. But then, the other rapper said he was missing a few things. So Omar told him to go back and get it out of the car. Savage thought something was off, so he locked the door when the rapper went outside, and that's when everything went left. Omar started asking Savage about his jewelry and eventually upped his firearm and told Savage to hand over everything. At first, Savage didn't want to give it up, but then Omar threatened to shoot Savage and his girlfriend. So Savage started taking his chains off. When Omar reached to grab Savage's chain, Savage saw an opportunity. So he wrapped Omar up in his arms and they fell to the ground and started wrestling. Omar's strap fell out of his hand, and that's when Savage yelled for his girl to come shoot Omar. She came in and popped him twice, but that didn't slow him down because Omar managed to get his hand on a gun and let 3 shots off at Savage's girl. Thankfully, all the shots missed, and Savage got Omar back under control. Savage told Omar to leave since his son was in there, but Omar didn't listen and told Savage he was going to kill him. They kept fighting, and that's when Omar's partners came up and started shooting through the door, but they didn't hit anything. When they stopped shooting, Savage's girl popped back at him with 2 shots, and that's when Omar's partners left him to die. Omar kept fighting, and Savage's girl shot Omar one more time in the torso, and Omar ended up passing away. Savage and his girl got off on self-defense. It was a crazy situation that took over the internet. Savage even went on to do an interview with Vlad TV, and it hit 2 million views in less than a week. But Savage's ops weren't happy about it, since Savage was talking cocky in the interview.
Concerned that his people are gonna try to come back.
Yeah, they for sure might do what they do, but I'm gonna get active. That's all it is. And it is what it is.
Then, on March 30th, Savage posted pics on Twitter of him standing in a pool of dried blood where Omar had lost his life. Savage was trolling the dude, and the pics instantly went viral since no one had ever seen anything like that on the net. But 2 hours after posting those pictures, BTB Savage was in his Mercedes, driving around until 2 gunmen pulled up, boxed him in, and then started letting off shots. By the time help arrived at the scene, it was already too late. Some people blamed the interview for his tragic death, while others blamed the picture, since the picture was very disrespectful, even though it was self-defense. But speaking of rappers, 21 Savage had to check a rapper for dissing.
Man, you can't blame the dude doing the interview. Blame him for what? He just asking the questions. I ain't gonna talk about that. No comment. Man, go ahead, man. That's history. I ain't talking about that. But nah, they think they get trophies for talking about the most worst lowdown stuff. That's right. You know, I'm high. You know, ain't nobody gonna sucker me. You know, I'm outside. What you gonna do? Ping, 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 ping.
His homie's dead mother, and Lil Yachty had to humble an artist for disrespecting his people. So click this video to see gangster rappers who humbled entitled rappers.
That's crazy. I'm gonna have to check that one. I'm gonna have to check that one out too, man. That's crazy, man. Why would you want to live that life? That's crazy, man. Oh my God, look here, man. Y'all let me know. Why would you want to live a life where you just dissing somebody? This one video will let me know I ain't saying nothing about nobody. Period. You got it, man. You got it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't from the streets no more. Hey, I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.